I would tell them something that I've always told them, and it's I posted it on Instagram a few times too, but it's to keep reaching for the stars because someday you may touch one.
Love that. That's super dope. What is up, everyone? We're back with episode 15 of Novelty Voice. I'm excited for this interview here. We're sitting here with Nick Turner. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Real quick, just want to give you a recap of where we're at and what we're doing here. We're at 120 Collective at 120 East Market Street. It's a podcast station here on Monument Circle. If you guys have, a podcast that you're trying to start, if you need a team of people to help you, hit us up. We'll get you connected to the people here at 120. They're very helpful, extremely great guys. Novelty Voice, as far as that, it's a platform for creative entrepreneurs and young professionals to be heard. Our goal is to interview really awesome up-and-coming movers and doers here in the city and get to know them more on a personal level, uncovering their journey, their mindset, and the vision of what they're doing. So without further ado, Nick, you're the CEO of Deliverin, man. How are you doing tonight, and what you been up to?
I've been great. Just really focused on building out our team, finishing out our tech, and closing out this round of funding. It's been fun. It's been a journey. Some tough nights, more tough than good.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome. It's been great.
Right on. And so let's go back to the very beginning of Nick. Where are you from?
Born and raised here in Indy.
Okay.
On the west side.
West Side. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Southport.
Southport.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how many siblings did you have growing up?
Growing up, right now, I'm the second to youngest out of 6.
Okay.
And single parent house with my mom. Had some tough times growing up, but it just put me in a position to be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Just facing the adversity and just fighting through.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so you said that you're the youngest of 6, correct?
Second to youngest. Yeah.
Second to youngest. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And so what were your hobbies growing up?
I love sports.
Yeah.
And whenever I was younger, I got really into Pokemon.
I feel that.
So I was a Pokemon dude, not Digimon, but that was whenever you had to be either or.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I was really big into sports. Hanging out with my granddad. He was a pastor and also an entrepreneur. Just learning a lot from him. And just grinding it out.
I feel that. What was your granddad's an entrepreneur? Was an entrepreneur. What did he do?
So he was a pastor, and he also owned 5 furniture companies,
Okay.
5 furniture stores,
Wow.
here in Indy.
Did you ever work for him or anything, or?
No, I was too young.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
gotcha.
too young. But it was awesome because with my company now, we deliver things, and
Okay.
with his furniture store, whenever a customer didn't have the vehicle capabilities or physical capabilities of picking up things and transporting them, he would actually pick them up for them and do it right then and there for free.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So you kind of took that, and now just with the technology nowadays, and we'll dive more into what the company actually is, but just I understand what you're saying, so
Yeah.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And so you grew up at Southport, and did you play any sports in high school?
Yeah. I played football and I ran track.
Okay.
Freshman year, I was an All-American. Actually, I think I still have a state record as the fastest freshman in Indiana history.
No shit.
For the
Okay.
200.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you just run 200, or what else did you do?
At state that year, I did the 200 and the 4x4.
Okay.
But overall, my overall specific events was 100, 200, 4x4, 4x1, open 400. I did high jump, long jump.
Nice. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, everything, anywhere that they needed me.
And so what position were you in football?
Running back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you, want to become a professional athlete, or was there something else like an astronaut or something crazy?
I knew that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Oh, really? Okay.
Especially just from, there was a short period of time I wanted to be a dentist, but after it was whenever I was older, but I always wanted to be like my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
So he was an entrepreneur, but I got fascinated with going to dental school and everything. But whenever I went to IU, I had a football scholarship So like they're like, yeah, you're not, you can't do that, buddy.
I feel that.
So,
And then, so with like entrepreneurship growing up, because that's pretty fascinating to me. How you always knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur. Did you do any like small businesses growing up, like selling candy or like anything like that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like in 5th grade, we had like our 5th grade trip where we had to go like as like a whole 5th grade class to this like one location where you could either like run a podcast, like a radio station.
Was that mini
or,
economy?
like, yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, like we had to do that.
Okay.
And whenever I was there, like I was an entrepreneur there. Like I actually owned like what was it, like a flower shop or something like that.
Okay.
And like just from like people like coming up and like coming to my store and like getting like fake flowers and fake money, and I was like, oh, like this is awesome. Like so I was like managing like all these different people, and I was like telling them to do what to do, like what to do and what not to do. And it was just like ever since then, I was like, oh yeah, this is where I need.
That's awesome. And so you ended up going to Indiana University?
Yep.
And
IUB.
was that specifically just for football, or did you always kind of have your hope set on IU? Was it just IU that you were looking at? Any other schools?
Yeah, I had a few other schools. Like from high school, like I finished like the number one like running back like in the state.
Oh wow.
I got like different offers. Sadly, like not sadly, but like Georgia offered me. I had like a few of the track scholarships that were offered me like from like Florida and everything. Like they converted over to like football and track.
Mm-hmm.
But like that one wasn't like a full scholarship. It was more like partial.
Yeah.
But one of the number one running back in the country that year, his name's Mike Brown or something like that. But he decommitted from USC and committed to Georgia, and then Georgia pulled my scholarship while I was at IU.
Oh damn.
And I didn't know that. Like I was 18, I had no idea that they could do that. So I was like, oh well, hey, Coach Lynch, I'm here right now. Yeah, I'll commit. So and I loved IU from like seeing the campus whenever I went there for state. And just like the overall like atmosphere of like in the culture that was there,
Yeah.
it was awesome. Yeah,
For sure. That's where I graduated from, and there's nothing like Bloomington, Indiana. It's a good place.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And then so yeah, I mean, what was your major at IU? I mean, I know football, but
yeah. I ended up double majoring in telecom and psychology.
Nice. Which one did you enjoy more?
Psychology.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Super interesting. I
Yeah.
like that. What was your college experience like?
It was good.
Right on. What I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting running back, right?
Well, yeah, I was whenever Coach Wilson was there.
Okay.
Well, whenever we first got hired there.
Yeah.
And then throughout the beginning of camp, and then I got a concussion. Now I lost my spot. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, I'm super fascinated, and I'm curious to know what was it like being in Bloomington, going to school there, and being a college athlete. I know it's like a whole nother experience because that's something that I wasn't a college athlete. I just went to school there, but I had a bunch of friends who were on the football team and whatnot, and I just know that's just a different life. So what was that like for you?
It was a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Why
Like,
do
it
you
was
say
good
that?
and bad. Like I played 2 sports, so my schedule was insane.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'd get up at 4:00, be on the line at 4:30, run from 4:30 to 5:30, lift from 5:30 to 6:30. Then I go over to track, and I'd go to track by 7, and I run from 7 to 8:15, and then be back in the meeting room by 8:30. Then on the field at 9:15 for football, and then change. Like practice starts at 9:30, off the field by 12:30 if we're lucky, and then after that we'd have lunch, and then we'd have to hurry up and get to class. And my class started at 1, so I'd go from 1 till 6, and then after that we would have like sometimes it would be like 7-on-7 that starts at from 7 to 8.
Yeah.
But we'd also have like study tables and then dinner and everything like that. But study tables closes at, I believe, if I remember, it was like 10:30. And after that, I'd either like go to the library and study up some more, or I'd go home and study. And I'd go to sleep around 12:31.
Dude,
and
that's
wake up at 4.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Dude, kudos to you, man. That you must have developed like so much discipline from
Yeah.
that type of schedule.
Yeah.
Was that was that pretty easy for you to do that every single day, or did you get like burnt out?
No, it was not easy. That was like the schedule whenever Coach Wilson was there, but like when Coach Lynch was there, it was like a lot more lax.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still had like a lot on my plate, but and they demanded the best like person out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it you get conditioned to it.
Yeah.
Like waking up at that time. Whenever I was a freshman, I always got in trouble because I would either like sleep in and like be late to the workout. And what happened was like I got hit really hard freshman year at camp. I mean, really hard. And it gave me a concussion, and they diagnosed me with like narcolepsy.
No shit,
So
really?
like, I was like falling asleep in the running back meeting room, and the running back coach was like, "Someone wake Nick up!" What the heck? And it was hilarious. And yeah, I remember it was Ian Reeves, and it was during inside run, and that was whenever it was just run plays. Like there was no passing plays. All the linebackers, safeties, everyone knew that it was a run. And yeah, he lit me up 3 times in a row. I mean, I was little. I was like 170, like running back.
Yeah.
Because I was fresh off of track like season.
Yep.
So yeah, and he was like 250, one of the strongest dudes. On
He
the
just
team.
got lit up.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't even imagine getting hit by a college football player. That would be
Hey,
that'd be something else.
I remember I called out J.J. Watt during a game.
Really?
Yeah, against Wisconsin.
How? Wait a second. Describe that. Tell me that story.
So it was first quarter, and I was having a good first quarter. Like I had over 100 yards in the first quarter,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was sitting there, I like looked over at him, and it was like the play that they called in was a pass play, so I was like sweeping away from him. So I like pointed him out, and he was like, "Me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay." And he gets down in his stance, and the dude's just amped. Like, I've never seen this. And I'm sitting there, I was like, all right, I'm going to swing. And then Ben, like, audibles to where I'd have to, like, take him. And I just look up at him, I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, like, at that time, I was still, like, 180, 190. But I was, like, fast.
Yeah.
So I, like, came at him, and he was coming full, like, oh, my goodness. Like, shot out of a cannon. And I went to, like, cut him at his knees, and he kneed me. And then just drug my body with him. It was
Jeez.
hilarious.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. That's crazy. That's a good story, though.
Yeah, and he picked me up. He was like, just never do that again. I was like,
Yes, sir.
noted.
Okay, and then so what would be the best lesson that you think you learned from playing college football?
That's a tough one. I learned a lot. I want to say communication and also like how you treat others, because you're around so many people that come from different backgrounds, and sometimes like they don't understand your story and you don't understand their story, but you have to like learn to like get along and like play fair. I mean, it's your teammate. Like you fight for them.
Yep.
Like in a heartbeat, and that's just like some of the things. Like there's sometimes like you'd have to be like I don't want to like stay around that person, but like whenever it comes, like whenever you put on those pads and that jersey, like you're pretty much family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of the things is just like communication, just like getting familiar with each other's stories.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then would you say the same about like the biggest lesson that you took away from, college, like the academic side of things? Would it be the same thing or something different?
Different. Yeah, cuz like college, like it just taught me how I learn. And that's what I like struggled with a little bit like whenever I was growing up.
Yeah.
But it helped me tremendously like as an entrepreneur because I could teach myself. And so that now like my learning curve is like that versus like trying to learn something that I don't really like or find interesting. So like now whenever it comes to entrepreneurship, like I'm learning more about like safe notes, convertible notes, how to raise money, how to speak with investors, how to meet with them, how to get them entertained, like like even open up the door for them to invite you in to sit down with them.
Yeah.
So it's different things, and also like the different like business metrics from financials, managing, like hiring people, different contracts, legal teams, like everything. But yeah, it's just taught me how I learn, and it's just been a great experience, especially from IU.
For sure, yeah, and I can relate to that. I mean, there's a lot of nights on YouTube and Google just like teaching myself how to
Yep.
do things.
Yeah, Google's your best friend.
Exactly, 100%. And so, yeah, I mean, we just did a pretty cool community event not too long ago. We did the shoe drive at Outreach, Indiana. You were involved with that, and you know, you spoke and shared your story with everyone that was there, which was super powerful. And if you don't mind, you know, I thought that your story was super and is super inspiring. So if you don't mind, can you just kind of, you know, touch on your background, your story? You said, you know, it was kind of a struggle growing up. So can you give, you know, the listeners kind of a feedback of who you are, where you come from, and just, yeah, your story?
Yeah, like so it was tough,
Mm-hmm.
and so my mom was a single parent with 6 kids, and my dad, like, he, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But like, it was just a struggle. Like, she worked her butt off to make sure that we had the best that we like life that we could, and sometimes, I mean, like, it was rough for her as well, but she never gave up. That's the thing. And with everything going on, it was like she had that grit inside of her and that resilience to like make sure that we didn't think that we were failing her, or that it was like our fault that we're in this situation, because like there was like a period of time where we were homeless, and like one part of the homelessness, like we had to stay in a station wagon, and then the other side of the homelessness, like we had to like live in churches that Wheeler Mission like put us in, and we had to live in churches like every 2 weeks, and we had to like transport from church to church like every 2 weeks, and it was different because like there was other families like there as well.
Yeah.
And you had to like sleep on like the cots in the basement with like other families, so you get like connected pretty quickly with them because like you're in the same situation. And like sometimes like whenever you're at school, like you have to like put on a whole like different like face, and be like, oh, like everything's good, especially like whenever like everything was going on, like so many people were like looking up to me in a way
Yeah.
because of like through sports.
Yeah.
So like so many people were like, oh, like you're killing it, you're doing this, you're doing that. And like it was cool because like so many people were like saying that, but like internally, like I'm like fighting a whole nother battle that like they didn't even know about.
Yeah.
And like from that, it was just pretty crazy, like what I've learned like from that time.
Yeah.
Because like there's gonna be like tough times. Like it doesn't like it's not gonna be cold every day. It's not gonna be raining every day. You just have to know that there's like bigger and better things that to look up to like in the future. And that's what I did, and that's what my mom preached to me, and that's what my granddad preached to me as well. And like my granddad, like he was like a strong like backing like into me, and he instilled a lot of his mannerisms into me as well, and also like my other like brothers and sisters. And it was just like I remember I came home like to his house, and he was like, yeah, like tell me your stats from the game. And it was in 7th grade. I was like, oh, like I think it was like 2 or 3 touchdowns for like I don't know how many yards. He's like, oh, you're gonna go to like D1, you're gonna go to the NFL, like blah blah blah. And I was like, thinking in my head like, but he was like, no, like never say you can't do something. And that's what I have like tattooed on me like right now. And like there's so like I could talk all day about this because
Yeah, keep going.
there was so many different things that have happened whenever I was younger, from like even like even right now, like I have friends who are doing life in prison for murder. I have multiple friends in life in prison for murder. I have friends who like drive Lamborghinis. I have friends who literally dedicate their whole life just to solving a solution like for free. Like they're just literally just living off the ground, like off the earth.
Yeah.
And it's just like inspiring to me, like not like the fact that they're around, but it's just like the fact that like I can learn so much like from them, and I have learned so much from them. And like going back to like whenever I was younger, it was just like taught me like how and what I should be whenever I'm older.
Mm.
And from like judging others, like knowing not to judge anyone because you never know what someone's going through.
Facts.
And just like especially like as an entrepreneur, you shouldn't judge anyone. Like everyone starts off as an entrepreneur in the same way. Like you always have to ask for help. If you think that you're gonna go through not asking for help, you're not gonna learn anything, and you're not gonna get anywhere. Thinking that you can just do it all on your own. Like there's tough times. Like yes, ask for help. Like you're not like it's okay. You're a human being. Like it's nothing's wrong with asking for it. But yeah, like my mom asked for help. My granddad even asked for help. So it's just like if something's going wrong, like just ask.
Yeah.
And that's what I like came accustomed to, and that's what makes it easier for me to like discuss like financials with investors. I'm like, yeah, like this is what I need by this time, because if I don't get this, then this is what's going to be the outcome.
Yep.
And it's just like a very straightforward conversation, like with everyone I'm with and everyone I'm around, because like there's no point of like putting any like gray area in anything, especially like whenever you're trying to start up a company. Like if someone's like, oh, like who reached out to you? I'm like, yeah, like Let Go did. And they're like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. They flew us out to New York. Yeah, I'm sure. And they're like, well, do you have proof? I'm like, yeah, I do have proof. And then here's the email. Here's the screenshots. Here's this. Here's that. And they're just like, oh. But it's just like I'm just very straightforward with everything I do.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that there's power in that, just being straightforward, being transparent, and honestly, just being vulnerable as well. I feel like there's a lot of power, and people can see. I mean, just with having multiple conversations with you, I can tell how genuine you are, and that you mean good, and especially with your product, that you want to solve a major problem and actually bring good to the world. So that's super cool, and I appreciate you for that. After you graduate college though, so was it like you graduate college and you weren't really sure what you wanted to do, or did you already have this idea of, at the time, what it would be Shipper Tech, now Deliverin? Did that idea come in college, after college? Where did the birth of that happen?
See, that's a tough question, because I feel like it came whenever I was like 4 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because and then it just grew throughout the years
Yeah.
to what it is now. Because like I mentioned before, like my granddad had the furniture stores.
Yep.
So like he'd pick up the furniture and deliver it. With Deliverin, we're picking up furniture, iPhones, everything else, and we're delivering it. And so like that pretty much could have been like something from like psychology.
Yeah.
Thinking back on, but like there's other things, like whenever I was in college, like my running back coach, he was like, hey, like you can't be like buying and selling things online, like on Craigslist. And I was like, oh, like all right. He's like, no, like seriously, it's dangerous, you have to stop. And I was like, okay. So he like made me like start coming over his house to like make extra money to like mow his grass, clean out his gutters, different things like that. And from there, like after that, like one of my friends got robbed, and I was like,
Oh wow.
all right, now this is the time to start it.
Yeah.
But before that, luckily, like Deliverin like / Shipper Tech wasn't like my first startup, thankfully.
Okay. What was your
Because,
first startup?
My first one was called the Unbounded Group. And
What was that about?
like whenever I started it, like I knew like I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But what I used the Unbounded Group for is to actually like teach me entrepreneurship. So it was a online platform for startup and seasoned entrepreneurs where they can come in and tell each other stories, collaborate. Like if they have any questions, they can just like post it and ask, and people will like actually respond. You can actually see like different interviews from like one of my mentors that I sat down, and other like entrepreneurs as well. And you can also, like I also formed a partnership with the iShot Agency. There's a multimedia agency located in LA and also Seattle, Washington. And one of my buddies like owned the company, so he actually hooked me up. And like made it so that the websites were 50% off for me, but I could still sell it for 100% off. Like he'd sell it to me for like 750, but I can like sell it for 1500 and then make monthly payments. So like, hey, like there's monthly payment options. So like whenever you're starting off a company, like you're not gonna sit there and be like, oh, 1500, here you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Like monthly payments, yeah, that's totally fine. So like you can like actually use that money for other things. And yeah, like that's what the Unbounded group was. It was just like helping out other people learn entrepreneurship, and from that, like I learned so much about like business plans, pitch decks, like operations, like management, everything. Because people would send in their business plans that they're looking at to like start up a company, and other people like there was companies that were raising like their Series A, sending in like their pitch decks like to review, and I'm like, oh. Crap. I'm like, so I'm on Google, just like looking it up. Like, all right, what does this Series A pitch deck looks like? What does this term sheet look like? So that's what I was doing.
That's crazy. What happened to the company then?
Like I learned enough to the point where I was like, okay, like I can start another venture.
Okay.
So I started like showcases, and that was a cell phone case that comes with a cigar cutter, flint strip, and matches.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like catered to the cigar industry. And
Yeah.
the reason why I made that one was for my granddad, because he loves cigars. Like, I think it was like 2 pictures that we have of him that he doesn't have a cigar in his hand. But yeah, like I started that, and then like my son and everything, so I got super busy with him. And like, and then I started like Kids First Vending, that I was like trying to like dish off to my son's mom, like so that she can have something going on. And like we actually like finished out like a partnership with like Gerber.
Oh,
so
wow.
like it was like Kids First Vending was a vending machine that came with like diapers, wipes, baby food, baby formula. So like
What?
for people who don't need to like carry around their like diaper bag.
Yeah.
So especially like Disneyland, Disney World
Mhm.
theme parks. So instead of having to go all the way back to the hotel, you can just go to the vending machine and get whatever you needed out for cheap.
Yeah.
And what made me think of that is because I had my son, and I was in the mall, and then I was like, crap, like the next place that has diapers is CVS. So I had to buy a whole thing of diapers from CVS when I already have a whole thing at home.
Yeah.
So instead of that, just go to the vending machine and just get one out.
Wow, that's genius, honestly. Wait, so what happened with that company?
I literally put everything on pause to focus on what I'm doing now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of still have that in the background then.
Yeah, in the background, yeah.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why is because like my buddy got robbed at
Mhm.
gunpoint, and then that made me really want to like dig in more and like on the research of it. So I started noticing that there was a lot of crimes that are happening like through marketplace platforms like Facebook Marketplace. There was a Craigslist killer, Let Go. Like for example, through Facebook Marketplace, there was one that sticks with me, and like after I tell you, you'll see why. There was a dad in Jacksonville, Florida. It was July of 2017, who was purchasing a free dog from Facebook Marketplace.
Mhm.
And the seller of the dog, which I mean was free, like all they had to do was just drop it off. So the seller like came into the home, like his 2 daughters were playing with the dog, and his fiance was just like, hell, like we just want to make sure that they like the dog and the dog likes them, because they were little. Like one was 2 and the other one was 4, I believe. And so the owner actually stayed there for like 2 hours, and he took off his shoes and everything, got super comfortable, and everyone started getting uncomfortable because he was just there for so long.
Yeah.
And the dad was like, hey, like we're about to, like we'll take the dog, like the girls love him, like this and that. I was like, but we're about to leave, like could you please leave? And the owner got mad and stood up and shot the dad in the chest in front of
What?
his daughter and also his fiance. And what's crazy about it is the guy that shot him actually got away with it.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd he get away with that?
He claimed self-defense.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Jeez. And so you're hearing all these stories, and that's when you were like, okay, this is the time.
Yeah, because like there's like there's some competitors out there, but they're not doing they don't have the same vertical that we have, or the same like user flow or anything, because
Okay.
like we're the only ones that have like the live video chat. So like we're removing the in-person meetup and replacing it with that, so that it's pretty much like FaceTime. So if I'm buying like a couch from you and I don't know, like we don't know each other,
Yeah.
you can post like your username onto like Facebook with the couch that you're trying to sell, and I can like copy it, paste it into the app, and I can SMS like text you like, hey, like this is Nick. I saw that you posted a couch on to Facebook Marketplace. Like, can I like check it out in the next like 5 minutes? And then from there, if you say yes, I can like literally like tap on your username and then FaceTime you like inside the app, and I can be like, hey, like, can you show me the couch? So I can like see the couch instead of just pictures. I can actually see it like in person, make sure that's there. And from there, like, if like, do you have any pets? All right, cool, I like it. And we can actually like press on the screen, it'll measure it out, and it'll populate what type of vehicle is needed to transport it.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we just tap on the screen, it'll pull up a work order. You just fill it out really quick, and it's a really fast like work order. It takes
Yeah.
less than 30 seconds. And you pay inside the app, and the money's held in escrow.
Okay.
So it's just like whenever I'm buying it, like you don't get the money immediately. And from there, a driver's notified. They'll go out to your location. They'll call me one more time to make sure this is the exact couch that I want, and then they'll pick it up and deliver it right to me, and then the money's released to you.